Richard.
Hey, good morning, Keith Jones, direct from Memphis, Tennessee.
That's right.
Guest appearance.
That's right. That's right, man. Memphis. Man, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you. I'm just enjoying this beautiful spring weather. It's fantastic.
What's the temperature there today?
Well, the day's going to be probably 82-ish, and then we had a night down to about 57.
Oh, it's only gonna get to 98 here. So
Yeah,
that's
well,
a
that's
good, that's a
it's a
gift.
nice spring day in Phoenix.
That's a gift, man. Hey, so I thought we'd knock out one more show, okay,
Yeah.
today. And this one is stop looking for the easy way.
Oh boy. Okay.
Okay. And so you know, these little things that are pretty trivial often come up for me that that make me think like, oh man, this is, this could be a show topic. And what was happening, what inspired this particular topic was last week, or maybe like a week and a half ago, I was doing a video project. And as I was doing this video project, what was interesting was I got feedback on the video project, and I've really gotten better about taking feedback. Before, the only feedback that I was interested in was good job. Anything less than that, was like you're an enemy. You became an instant enemy. So I became really good. We need to do a show on feedback. So, but in this particular case, I'm really getting better at feedback. So the person said, hey, listen, you should add closed caption for people that are differently abled, or people that are in a situation to where they can't, they are unable to listen to it because of the people around them. And so they should, create the ability for them to be able to read it, give them that option. So I had to do closed captioning for this video. And it was in this video software that's very powerful, but I had to create a certain kind of file format for it to happen. So I spent like an hour, 2 hours looking at YouTube videos. They gave a simple option through Facebook that I don't use Facebook. So I found it wasn't the way that the person laid it out. So when I tried to do it, and then I found another YouTube video to try to follow, and they suggested a free version of this application. But when you get to the application, it's not free. So I was like, I'm not paying for this one off. So I didn't want to do it. So I spent like 2 hours researching how to do it easy. And at the end of that whole time, I just ended up typing it in word by word, pause, type, word, so I told myself, Keith, this is a metaphor. Stop looking for the easy way and just do the work. And for me, the easy, I think about when I don't want to do something, which is rare, zoning out and not facing a problem or issue and just, medicating with Netflix or
Medicating.
Yeah, medicating with Netflix, or it could be going out and, drinking too much or sleeping in or whatever else, or looking for a shortcut. And I think those things have their place. But when it comes to the work of being present every single day to your loved ones and this gift that we have called life, what I found is you got to do the work, man. You got to do the work. You got to train yourself to become more aware of your thoughts, your narratives, to not attach to them. You got to practice acceptance when your ego is telling you not to accept anything. You got to stop fighting with yourself, stop fighting with other people, just being compassionate and loving when you don't want to be compassionate and loving. Forgiving when your ego tells you and others around you tell you that you can't forgive this, not this. And I love the poem by Rumi that says forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet gives off under the heel that has crushed it. And I think about that. I mean, to get to that point, man, that requires you to roll up the sleeves. You know what I'm saying? You got to roll up the sleeves, and you start with the little slights and letting those go.
Yeah.
And then you're able to build up to handle the bigger infractions. So what are your thoughts, Rick, about, stop looking for the easy way?
Well, I think for me, I think the older I get, the more lazy I become, or I should say, the more particular I become. And I think this has been a good exercise for me, because when you're an A-type, you want to be the best at everything you do. So if I'm opening a bottle of wine, I want to be the guy who's elegant in the way he moves and the cork comes out easily. If I'm cooking, I want to be able to flip the omelet, you know, fill in the blank, whatever it is, I got to be the best at it. That's when I was younger. Now that I'm older, my emphasis really is more on just trying to decide, first of all, do I care about this?
Right.
You know, and that's something that a lot of people, you miss that step. Some people, you just start doing everything because you're supposed to do it. Well, for me, it's first of all, do I care enough to really want to put in the time? So for example, in your situation where you wanted to do this little higher tech experiment or something with the closed captioning, you know, I wouldn't care about it. So I just wouldn't do it. I would hire somebody. And so I think the first step for determining whether you even have any investment in it, or if there's a shortcut, or if you're trying to avoid doing it, is, do I want to do it? You know, there's a great book, The Art of Motorcycle Maintenance by Bob Persig, and it's been around for, I don't know, 100 years. But when I was a kid, I read it, and I really got a lot out of it. And one thing that he said in the book that I thought was so important is that when you find yourself hurrying, and he was using this as an example to his son, he had taken a motorcycle trip with his boy, and he was teaching his boy life lessons based on repairing their motorcycle. And the kid was trying to fix the cycle, but he was slamming his tools down, and he wasn't using the right tools, and he was swearing, and he wasn't getting anywhere with it. And the dad said to him something like, you know, when you're hurrying through something, what that tells you is that you don't care about it. You don't care about it. So the first step is, why do it in the first place if you don't care about it? And that's kind of where I'm at in my life right now. There's probably half a dozen things that I really care about. The rest of it, yeah.
No, and I'm in the same boat with you. I mean, and what I mean by the easy part is the stuff that you care about. Stop looking for the easy way to get through it. Like when I look at your garden, you didn't just put up anything. Like you didn't just say, let me put the fences up and maybe they're not connected and let me not have the rows this way or get the pots. You didn't take the easy way with your garden. That garden produces the bounty that it produces because you weren't looking for the easy way, or you accepted that this wasn't going to be easy. Now that doesn't mean that you weren't efficient, because you are efficient with how you worked and how you moved in it. You did all those things, but you care about that. And there are some things that, you know, I didn't, you know, this is not hot, or this is whatever, when it's a meal or food, or, you know, it wasn't like the perfect presentation. I don't care about that stuff. What I do care about is having compassion for other people. So I'm not looking for the easy way to have compassion. And the easy way to have compassion is only give it to people that I like or that I agree with.
That's right.
You know, I want my capacity for compassion to not have to know anything about the other person to be loving and compassionate for them, to be accepting, to be inclusive. And so what I've stopped doing for the things that matter to me most, which is to your point, that I care about, I'm not looking for the easy way anymore. Because for them to be sustainable, for them to give me the kind of peace that I want to experience in my life and to be joyful, I've accepted that it's not going to be easy, because I got to overcome, you know, my ego. I got to overcome my natural inclination to operate from fear and these other, you know, biological ways that we show up in the world. And when I've chosen not to take it the easy way, and look for the greater good or the higher meaning, then, man, once I accept it and that it's not going to be easy, it's great. So in the case of the technology thing, what really helped me buckle down and just stop looking for the easy way to do it is because the person who asked me was like, Keith, this is going to be a contribution to the people that are differently abled, that can't hear. I had a higher meaning. So I made sure that I did it to the best of my ability. And so to your point, she helped me see why it was important to care about this. And so being open really helps me in that way. And like, you know, the links that you go to make me and our friends welcome in your home, from the meal to the accommodations, I mean, there's no stone unturned to make sure that we have a great experience. And I've seen you do that for countless people. You know, you care about it, man, and you're not looking for the easy way, you know,
Well,
and
but
we appreciate that.
you got to be careful with that example, because I'm nice to you guys, because when you're sleeping, I go through all your possessions and take things that I like.
You know, I've learned to keep the things close by my bedside in your home too. So, because a few things have been missing, but my practice was not to confront you about it. So I've just taken other measures. I leave them in the car locked away.
I sure like the car keys to that Tesla. I don't know, man. That's pretty cool.
All
So
right.
here's one other point about that, though. I think this is important about no shortcuts, and that is, this is my rage against multitasking, because people get into this role where they think they need to do 15 things, or let's say 3 things at once, instead of concentrating on one thing and being present in the moment. The easy way out is to do 3 things. The harder thing is to do one thing well. So it irritates me no end when someone's talking to me and they're tip tapping on their damn iPhone, or they're having a conversation with me, and then they're in the Jack in the Box drive-in and talking to that guy at the same time. You know, I mean, it's stupid, and to me, that's an example of people who don't care. They don't care. They got to get all this stuff done, and it's all got to happen in a certain way, and it's got to happen within 5 minutes. Why don't you just recalibrate your sense of relationship to time? You know, you have enough time to do the things you care about. You don't have enough time to do the things you don't care about. So if you can make that distinction in your head, you find yourself living your life more on purpose. So for my example with technology, to me, it's just an endless pit of horror. To me, it's just a hour of frustration that I would rather spend doing something else, my garden. But for other people, it's a source of thrill. For my son, for you, for others, and I'm totally cool with that. But I think the problem comes in when you try to do that plus 2 other things at the same time, and you try to both do them well. Try to do both of them well, and you can't do either one very well. So caring about it is important, but also having the time to do what you need to do is the key.
Yeah, you know, I agree, man, and just finding that time. And, you know, I've become just really, by slowing down and not taking the easy way, what it also has helped me do is is to stay open to people, how they approach things differently, and really try to not judge their behavior, because I know that before I started to do this practice, I was exhibiting that same behavior, you know,
Yeah.
and multitasking was at the top of one of my lists of doing. And even when I read that it was not efficient, from just the practical standpoint, you're not as efficient with it, I still continue to do it. And just not being organized in my time to make time for the things, like you said, that were important to me. And then I also, you know, am learning more balance, like thanks to you and Pete and Brian getting out more in nature and appreciating the gardens and things like that. And the way that I've done technology is I'm selective with technology in that it doesn't use me, I use it.
No, that's great.
So
Wow.
because of that, it's helped me it has helped me develop a relationship with people who I would normally never, or situations that I would normally never come in contact with. So for example, in terms of gender identity, being an ally, you know, for folks that have been on the fight for civil rights in that area, you know, I would have never even thought about it had it not been for technology and getting different perspectives and seeing it and creating that empathy. And so technology has given me that. But you know, I could have easily continued to use it the way that I used to, which was use technology only to confirm some of my own biases and thoughts and generalizations about an entire group of people. But I don't use technology in that way. I use technology only in a way that helps me expand my capacity to be compassionate, to be kind, to be loving. And if it does that, then I'm on it. If it's not doing that, then I put it down. So, you know, I'm no longer looking for the easy way, Rick. It may come up here or there, but when, you know, I'm not spending as much time like doing it. So while I spent 2 hours the other day trying to look for the easy way of this closed captioning that I was feature that I was trying to add to this video, I will probably, you know, make it 15 minutes. And then if there's no more efficient way to do it, then I'll do the work that's necessary. And I'll be guided by higher meaning to continue to do that work.
Good
So,
for you.
man, I love you. Did you want to say anything to close us out?
I think you covered it, man.
Okay. Well, great, Rick, man. I'll let you get on with your weekend. I love you.
I love you too, buddy. Take care. See you next time.
I'll see you next time.